Hi, my name is Maria Jane Furia Kernel, and I have been a VA since 2013. But before venturing out to the virtual world, I have been working on a human resource under talent acquisition specialist at Hinduja Global Solutions. I started as an appointment setter, ISA, under a client based in San Francisco, so I do appointment setting for him. And along the way, I was able to enroll in a seminar under Craig Proctor. So I was able to include a lot of tools and learn a lot of um, new ventures in terms of the real estate world. So I was able to handle already his buyers and seller scripts, for sale by owners, expireds, and later on investor scripts. And then um, he transferred, my client transferred to another company. I think he was able to um, move to Keller Williams from a very private realtor group. And after that, I was working for him as a part time um, VA, and I grew his team from the five of us up until, there's a lot more. We grew from five until I think we're already 50 VAs that is working to their team in the US. So not only that I work for him, I also coach and co-train VAs. And then later on, because of um, ladderize, so I was able to teach a lot of VAs to learn, and I was able to move to my passion. So I move up to the management team. So I also do the admin assistant, a little bit of transaction coordinator on the side. Of course, being a virtual assistant, we call it the GVA. So we also help land a client for them. I'm still working as a prospect appointment setter. And then later on, but because my passion is in talent acquisition, I was able to move as a talent acquisition specialist manager. So what we do is we management. I manage usually team from end to end process. So what we do is first we do the sourcing. So the sourcing comes from different platforms like social media. We use Facebook, of course, as an organic tool. We use Indeed, LinkedIn mostly for the VAs who already have an experience. Indeed, also there's a lot of VAs. So on that company, I started as a one-man team. So the training team needs 40 VAs a week to train. So I need to be able to deliver 40 a week, and it's like, I know it's not realistic, but I was able to get not 100%, sometimes 100%. But because of the saturated world in terms of real estate, we are vying for the piece of a pie. So what I do to be able to deliver is that, for first 3 days, I send out a lot of inquiry using social media platforms, Indeeds, referrals. Um, that's I like personal and professional within the group of the virtual world. So that's what I do for the first 3 days. And then the rest of the 2 days is I do the series of interviews. So for the 8 hours daily, I set up a schedule for them for an interview depending on. So I source them depending on the client's needs, and then I send out really a real time feedback if they pass or not. So within the interview as a talent acquisition, I usually do the language assessment test because that is the most efficient way to be able to know if they pass. Are they active listening? Do the active listening? They can converse well. That is very important, especially when dealing with clients, um, and also experience. Or I myself, I started for someone who has already an experience in the BPO world, 6 months and above. And for those who doesn't have but is very trainable, we also venture out for those VAs as well, as they will be training on the side. So there are 2 weeks training depending on the client's needs. So before venturing or going to the second step to do the training, we send out a job offer and a training agreement. So that is at 2 weeks. The first 5 days is to see if they be able to uh, finish the assessment test and pass all the training requirements. So, what are the training requirements? So, they have a laptop, they have also an internet provider, they have a noise canceling. That's very important. As well as, I determine right away if they have an experience to be able to work with the client that we have at hand. For the second phase, that is when they do an onboarding with the client to see if it's like a 5 days of um, testing the waters. If the client wants them, so the clients take them in. If not, they move into another client and we find another client for them. Okay, for the next one is that after a week, so we have to get back to the client to ask for a feedback if how well the VA is doing. Um, but before those process, of course, there is a help from the training team. The training team also focuses on the tools, depending on the client's request. The training team sometimes do train ahead with the tools with the client and then train the VA. Some of the clients also wanted their own VA to be trained. So we usually work with the client's needs. That is what is important, as well as we give them a quality VA that they need. So that is one of um the things that I do on a daily basis. On the GVA part or the managerial part, what the GVA is that when we try to have a client meeting, so it's different. So what we do is we do inquiry first, we see research about the client, and we set up an appointment for them for an interview. And what we do is, while doing the interview, we wanted to know what the client wants and needs and how we'll be able to help their business. And then we set up a timeline for them for 2 weeks for us to look for a VA. So, depending either for the tools, they need a training, or some we have to cut the training because they will be the one to train the VA. Depending on some of the clients is just looking for a VA that they're going to be handled, so it's not under the umbrella of the company. We just only source for them. It seems like we are just the headhunters, but some of the client want their VAs to be managed. So there's a lot more work for that because we need to be able to get in touch with the client on a weekly or a bi-monthly, to have a meeting with them to see the progress of the VA. So that is one of the insights on how a talent acquisition does the work in a virtual world. So if you have any more questions regarding how I do, or later on if I'll be part of the team, I can impart of you a lot of documentations, a lot of processes that I've already built with the company before and I still have. I'll be able to share it with you guys. So um, that's it for me. I hope you have a great day.